Hello. In this video I'm going to somewhat reiterate what I talked about in the last video, but discuss in further extent what all the Civil Air Patrol qualifications are about, how to get them, why we need them, things pertaining to that matter. So starting off, why does the Civil Air Patrol have qualifications and what are qualifications? Well, somewhat similar to the military, the Civil Air Patrol has qualifications to indicate that someone is proficient in some area. So we don't want to throw out any random 12-year-old into the woods to go find a missing person. So what the Civil Air Patrol has is a system set up where they can determine if people are eligible and knowledgeable enough to go on things such as your common search and rescue mission. And they do this by testing and evaluating people on their knowledge and experience in their specific fields. So in this video I'm going to be using Ground Team 3 as an example because that's a very common one, although these things all apply to every qualification in some way or another. So starting off, we're in our home page of eServices. We're going to navigate to our Operations Qualifications tab. Now, I went over this before, the worksheet and a blank worksheet. What we're going to want first off is our blank worksheet. This shows us what we need for a certain thing. Again, using Ground Team 3 as an example, this pulls up our squeeder. And what our squeeder is, it shows us what are all of the things we need to learn and get tested on by somebody in order to get the Ground Team 3 qualification. So we see we have all of these different tasks, and we need someone to evaluate us. So first of all, where do we get the information to learn this task? Well, if you search Ground Team 3 Squeeder or anything to navigate to the Squeeder information page of the National Civil Air Patrol headquarters site, we see we have the squeeders down here, which will redirect you to eServices. But up top we have the curriculum. So we see these are all of the different books or PDFs, pamphlets you need to know in order to get qualified. In this instance, again, using Ground Team 3 as an example, we're going to go to the Ground Team and UDF Task Guide. This brings up what is called the Green Book or the Ranger Bible or something along those lines. And we see we have all of these different tasks for Ground Team 3, 2, 1, UDF, and a couple others sprinkled in here. So we're going to look again back at our squeeder. What do we need? Well, first of all, we need task this, 0001. So we're going to navigate 001, prepare individual equipment. We're going to go to, they are numerically ordered, 001. We see the objective, the main information right here pertaining to what we're learning. And then down here, for this one, it's different because it shows what you need in your kits. But then down here, we actually have the evaluation. So you can see what you need to know, what's going to happen, and then what the requirements are. Pass, fail, pass, fail, pass, fail. Now, it's important to note that not everybody will test you the same way. Not everybody will expect the same sort of response from you. But it's important to be as knowledgeable as you can, so no matter who tests you, you can pass it successfully. So once we've memorized the information we need to know, practice, prepare, we'll go to our squeeder, present it to someone qualified to sign off. You can ask someone if they're qualified, or you may just know, or you can look at their 101 card. But in general, especially if you're newer, they'll just tell you that they're qualified. And then they'll test you on it. You'll demonstrate you are proficient in the task, and then they will sign these boxes with the needed information. So we're going to hypothetically say you did that. You looked at all the information, memorized everything, prepared everything, and you got someone to sign off every single one of these tasks. What you're going to do next is to go back into our eServices. We're going to Entry View Worksheet. enter in your cap ID, so this is for you, and then we're going to again navigate to ground team 3. That is not ground team 3, ground team 3. And we're going to have these boxes. Now we need to find each one with the information. This was our, let's see, where was our equipment? So just as an example, we're going to say this was our equipment task we just did. We're going to enter in the date we were qualified, the evaluator's cap ID, and it'll bring up if they're qualified to sign off on this, and then we'll select them. And then in some instances, you'll need a mission ID and certificate ID, but these are the main two. Then once we've entered in all of those, the person who evaluated us will need to go into eServices and approve them. So for instance, if I was the person who evaluated you on that task, I would have to go into eServices and approve it. Then you would get a pending squeeder. What you do once you've submitted every task is you click this submit button down here. Then your page will turn yellow and your status up here will turn to pending. You need approval from the squadron and wing before you can be ground team 3 qualified. Then once you've entered in everything, you submitted it, it went from pending to active, you have ground team 3. The way you can check if you've gotten this is by going to your 101 card again, and I'm already in so it pulls up mine, but we can just type in your cap ID if you weren't in. We'll see right here GTM3, and then if we look over here we can see that GTM3 stands for ground team member level 3. And then even here you can see the diamond by it indicates skill evaluator. So if someone has a diamond by something, that means they can evaluate you and test you on those things. So once again, this was a general overview of why we need qualifications and how to obtain them. Again, if you were looking for something with mission base, you would go to this book. If you go to ground team, you're this one. This is the content you learn, which goes into the tasks you need to be signed off of, which go into the online portion that you need to copy and paste, in a sense, right over into here what you've done. And then lastly, once it's all approved, it'll show up on your 101 card. So if someone's looking for ground team members and you have ground team 3 on here and they say you need ground team 3 and GES, we can see if you have both of those, then you're good to go. Again, this is a way for the Civil Air Patrol to track who is ready for missions, who has the knowledge, and who has been evaluated in order to put together a good team and not just any 12-year-old who walks in the Civil Air Patrol doors. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please don't be afraid to leave any questions, comments,